Hello everybody, happy Monday. We are back. Yes, yep, nope, yep, Just I was doing a mental checklist in my head. We are back here with, oh geez, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. Is that one? There we go. Getting, used to the new OS. We're back. It's Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you got some good breakfast, cereal, a donut maybe, some toast. But we're back here in MineColonies, and we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing some fun stuff today. So, last time on MineColonies, or, like last time on DBZ Abridged or something along those lines, we did, what all did we do? We did the tavern over here. Yep, we did a tavern. We did a forester. We did guard towers. And that's all good, but because we've gone ahead and introduced the forester as a means of like automation in MineColonies, we're gonna have to start getting into some of the more, meat and potatoes, as we will, in this here mod pack. So let's go ahead and we're gonna pull up the build tool and we're gonna talk about what our plans are for today. Now, I say this, and I'm gonna try and keep to what my plan is of every episode, increasing how many buildings we get done. So far we have, I guess the supply camp kind of counts, but we have the town hall, we have the builder's hut, so that's two, did two in one episode, and then, I did 4, I doubled it. Oh my gosh, I mean, I gotta do 8 buildings today? I don't think I can do 8, but maybe. Well, anyways, we've done all those, but one of the reasons that I went and did the guard towers as opposed to doing what the buildings that we're going to be doing today is because of the giant pit back over there that has all those monsters in it, and having guards around will kind of help protect our citizens a little bit better than I can, since I'll be running around collecting materials. So let's go ahead and take a look at the fundamentals. Now, we take a look at this, we can clearly see that we've done the builder's hut, we have done a forester's hut, we've done a tavern, we've done a town hall. We've done all these, which is fantastic. Some other things that exist here that will be helping us is going to be a mine, a restaurant, a hospital, and a residence. Now, some of these are going to be a little bit more important than others. However, more importantly is going to be over here in the storage. Now, because we built a forester, and I'm also going to be looking at doing a mine, I believe, today. Because we're going to have the forester's hut and a mine, when a colonist goes and gathers those materials, either for mining, cutting down trees, what have you, the resources have to go somewhere, right? And they'll be able to sit in the building that we make for our colony for quite a while, but like as they like gather and stuff like that, they're going to need to go somewhere, and that is going to be over here in the storage. It'll be in the warehouse. In order for things to get from buildings to the warehouse, or as we move further in this mod pack to some of the other buildings that'll come down the line, we need a courier's hut. So that's 4 buildings already. We're gonna do the courier's hut, we're gonna do a warehouse, we are gonna do, let's see here, the mine. Already, I said the forester's hut, and I didn't actually say what the 4th one is going to be. And we're also going to be doing the restaurant. The restaurant is important because it's literally right there. It feeds our colonists. We need that. That's pretty impactful. We want them to be able to have a place to eat. On top of that, so we have the 4 there, which is great. Love it. 10 out of 10. I'm going to most likely get a couple more guard towers around, because they increase the range of our colony, which is what we're going to be looking to do. So we're going to get a couple more guard towers, and then I'm also thinking we might do, I gotta get to 8, right? I gotta do 8 buildings. The residence might be what ends up coming into play as well. But as I'm kind of thinking that out loud, obviously from a map stance, we have a guard tower up over here and a guard tower here, and we have like a pretty wide open space. I'm looking to take a guard tower and kind of plop here, possibly over here. I need to go and torch up all that place up in there so that like monsters aren't spawning. But this is going to be like the main, That's cool. This right here is going to be like the main hub of our village, of our colony. And we're going to be building like up into the mountains and stuff like that. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm thinking the residences, I think the residences are going to be built up on top of the cliff face up over here. I think that'll look really good. And then like all the shops and everything are going to be down below as like a means of like, that's just where it is. I haven't actually seen what the residences look like yet, so that might change a little bit. But I'm thinking guard tower here, a couple more guard towers like along the perimeter and stuff like that to increase the size of our colony, so we're like completely encompassed here on this island, which will be nice for sure. And the storage, we're gonna be doing that 100%. We don't have anything here with a luxury yet. Decorations would be fun. Agriculture would be pretty good because we're gonna be needing to like feed people and whatnot, and that'll be a source. But I don't know if I want to get into agriculture yet. I think I'm gonna do a whole video on agriculture, so I'll have to do the farming for the time being and supplement into our storage. Education is a whole nother thing too. That's gonna be a thing. Definitely gonna have to get into that. So yeah, we're gonna do the mine, we'll do a restaurant, we're gonna do the courier's hut, the warehouse, and then some guard towers. 4 more guard towers with the 4 buildings that I just listed out. Well, no, because that's, yeah, restaurant, mine, courier's hut, warehouse, 4 guard towers. I think that could go pretty hard. Yeah, okay, I like that. I like that as an idea. I like that as a game plan. I might splash in another building. We'll see. We'll see. But the ones that I've described so far are going to be very important to the overall structure and integrity. Since right now, when I have out the tool, we can see how big the range is. And it's not as big as I would like. And that's why I want to get like another guard tower up over there. Get a guard tower over there. Slowly keep expanding things out. Get probably like a guard tower up over there. And this isn't even talking about like infrastructure week, you know, like getting the roads and everything all mapped out appropriately for a lot of these places. But I do want to start tackling this over in here. I'm going to get some torches, going to run through there, plop all those down, and hopefully start dealing with that because we got some cows down there, so I can do some of my own farming in the meantime. And yeah, so I think, oh man, I'm gonna have to actually go mining. I have a little mine started over there that I'll have to kick off and everything like that, but I think that's what it's gonna be. In terms of some of the future plans and ideas that I have going on right now in my little noodle is, so like our town hall's right here, and when we had done the original, that's some damage. When I'd done the original town hall building and we looked at it at the highest tier, we kind of saw like this as the background, which looked great. What I want to do is I actually want to tunnel through this right here. Tunneling through this wall, maybe hiding it a little bit, maybe like using like waterfalls or something along those lines, since we have a lot of like lava falling down. And I think I saw a couple like waterfalls in a few other areas, but like having that, because look, this isn't that deep, right? It's not that deep of a wall to kind of get through, and it leads up into like having this really nice, like, hey, that we'll build a dock or something over here, you know, they come through, we can have a dock, we can have a path, and when they come through over here, we'll have like a main street kind of wind its way this way, maybe like up and around the town hall in some capacity. But yeah, I'm thinking we'll end up having like this main road or something like that come up and around, so we don't actually fully encroach upon the town hall, but like kind of have something that kind of builds up into this little hole area right here, or something similar to that, right? And push on through over into what I am going to call like the artisanal district. Like this is going to be where we're going to put like the blacksmith and all that other kind of fun stuff. I think that'll be like the most, I don't want to say fun, but like challenging aspect of it, right? Like having a nice, cool, neat hub up over in here. The harder part, I think, is going to come into play when we start talking about what we're going to do for farms and everything like that. Because right now, if we look at the map, there's going to be a lot of potential going up, but I want to save that for like residences, right? Like I want our residents to live like up in like the plateaus and everything. I think that'll be really, really cool and work pretty darn well, honestly. But depending on the farms, we might be able to find some good sizes somewhere. Possibly do a little bit of terraforming over here to kind of put like more grass down to kind of give it more of like the farms are over here next to the tavern. Possibly leading out to some of these other little alcoves or something along those lines. And that is how like a lot of the food's gonna come in. Maybe that works that way, or it could work that way for us. Something over there. And you know, like from the outside, people kind of coming over and looking at what we have going on here, they kind of go, oh, you know, this is just like, it's a little farm town, not knowing like the secrets that are inside, right? Like I really like this. This is it's got a lot of potential. So that being said, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna kind of be jumping into the time-lapse stuff a little bit earlier, since there's not much I can really show off until we have those buildings built. So we'll be coming back to me and I'll go over the UIs and all that other kind of fun stuff. But we're going to hand it over to the other version of me, who is most likely editing this video right now and totally not doing it on like a tight timeline. Like that would never be something that I would do. Absolutely not. But I'm going to hand it over to Editor Rev, and hopefully you guys enjoy what we got going on. Wah! Alright, we are here with another time-lapse rev, and this is actually one of the longer time-lapses that I've done. That's sitting, oh my goodness, like a little over 10 minutes if I'm looking at the actual editing timeline, which, that's crazy. But I also, in the process of getting my microphone set up, broke my pop filter, so, oh, I'm gonna have to like pull out all my like voice acting training to make sure that like I don't do my plosives and all that kind of fun stuff. Oh, yikes. Actually, I don't even know how my microphone fell off my desk. Anyways. I know why you guys are all here. You want to know music selections. You want to hear fun stories. You want to hear what we got going on with the Mine Colony and all that other kind of fun stuff. So let's kind of like dive right on in to the Mine Colony. So this episode, I think... This episode is a little bit more on the stranger side. Usually... I like to spend a little bit more time talking with you guys in the moment, showing stuff off. However, I think the day kind of just got away from me, as well as like all the prep work that I usually go into the episodes. I like to spend like 2-3 days kind of workshopping out like where things can kind of go, farming materials and everything like that, as kind of like a passive side, getting everything ready, because I know what's going to be happening, right? Like I know I'm going to need a lot of acacia wood, I know I'm going to need a lot of cobblestone, dirt, all that kind of fun stuff. And so I like to make sure like I just stockpile a lot of that, you know, a little bit of that off-screen mining, if you will. Also, like small like aside here, right? Like I have this currently set to, I think it's 600% for like building up the warehouse, and like I'm just watching the lava flow as I'm talking with you guys right now. Like it's just kind of mesmerizing in a way. I wonder if we're gonna find the guard who like walks through it. Who knows? Anyways, so yeah, I do a lot of pre-planning going into these episodes just to kind of make it so it flows smoother overall, especially in Mine Colonies. There's like a lot of stuff going on, and for whatever reason, I'm crazy. I give myself the additional challenge of building like exponential growth in the way of buildings. Like usually in the past it's like one building per and we just kind of go with it, but here I am, I built 8 buildings and I'm only time-lapsing 4 of them. That's crazy. I got 4 guard towers, I got 4 new buildings, and then I believe I talk about it, if I recall correctly, at near the end of the episode of like what the plans are going into next week. But oh my goodness, you guys, this is crazy. But all in all, it's good. It's a lot of good fun. I'm actually really enjoying this style pack. I always want to call it like just like colonist pack, but that doesn't sound right. The verticality is a fun challenge though. And for those who are watching / playing along at home, if you get the opportunity to build in one of these areas, oh my god, do it. This has been fantastic. I might honestly try and take this like Minecraft seed and use it in another playthrough to just utilize this space again, but with like something different. I'm not sure, but it is on my mind. Anyways, let's change gears a little bit over into the wonderful world that is music suggestions. Now, let's see. This week, I'm getting into that weird phase again with my workout playlists, which kudos to everyone sending me their suggestions. Like, fantastic. 10 out of 10. Please keep doing it. My gym playlist only hungers for more, and right now it's a little bit like alternative rock. I got some like country in there, there's some like metal in there, EDM, rap, dance music, all that kind of fun stuff. I find myself listening more right now, at least this past week. I try to look at it in like week type chunks, and currently it's a lot of bands like Unprocessed, a lot of bands like Polyphilia. The genre, I guess, or rather I think style would be more apt. The style is that of like a finger style guitar, where like the emphasis is more on the stringed instrument and like the technical know-how. Love it. It does wonders for my synesthesia. It really like inspires me to go and pick up my guitar and like play along. It's just it's so good. It's so good. I don't really even actually have like a song suggestion this week, like outside of like a particular band. You know, like I think if you were to put a diamond sword to the back of my neck and say like, you got to give me something or I'm like, we're swinging, you know, I would probably, I don't even think I would mention one of the songs that I've been listening to in my gym playlist, but I'd probably go with like Diary of Jane by Breaking Benjamin. Like, I don't know why. Or actually, you know what? Let's not use Diary of Jane. Great song. 10 out of 10. Great song. Let's still Breaking Benjamin. Let's go with Blow Me Away. And for those who might not recognize the song by its title or even by the band, will know it from the advertisement run that was going for Halo 2. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and roll out some Halo stuff right there, huh? Yeah, Halo 2, Blow Me Away by Breaking Benjamin. That, I think this is one of those weird cases where the song itself was like both created in the vacuum for the ad campaign, but also like plans were like being made as like an EP before like EPs were like a really big thing in the music industry. I don't know. It's a solid song, but it isn't, shockingly, it isn't what I've been listening to the past week. Mostly because a lot of the stuff has kind of fallen into a classical guitar player's rendition of like Mozart, right? Like, it's great. I think it sounds fantastic. And for those who are looking to maybe try something else out in, the musical world, by all means, give that a shot. However, I know it is not for everybody. It's the same thing with like jazz, like not everyone likes jazz. I'm a fan. I think jazz is pretty neat, but I know it's a taste that isn't really acquired. You either like enjoy it or you don't kind of situation. So I don't know. There's so many great artists out there that could potentially fall into those particular categories. Anyways, yeah, Blow Me Away by Breaking Benjamin would be my music suggestion this week. If, I was being like, sat down and being like, hey, that's what we want. We want a music suggestion. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's kind of a thing. Other than that, it's been a lot of EDM. It like cycles back and forth between fingerstyle guitar, EDM with like a heavy bass drop, and then back to fingerstyle guitar. Like this has been what my workouts look like, which that's fun. So there were that, and you guys give some good ones. That's for sure. I have the playlist created from all the suggestions from the previous season. That was a lot of fun. Enjoyed that quite a bit. I still pop that on when I'm in the car definitely enjoy listening to all of those wonderful suggestions at that particular point. But let's see, what else do I have to talk about besides music and everything else that's going on? You know, other than my animals being poopy and trying to get in on this microphone action, they want to say some stuff. Can't have any of that, can we? No, we can't. I don't know. You guys probably want to hear more about the animals from them themselves than me yapping y'all's ear. So let's see. We're on the final time lapse, and there's not too much time left here. But I will say some of the things that have been going on. Because of all the effort that I put into the videos in terms of farming and setting up the time lapses and everything like that, it's been a week. On top of the fact that I wrote a book. And that is in the process of being published, which is crazy to think that in the year 2026, I would be publishing a book. Here's a time capsule for myself when I come back in a few years and watch this video back. That's going to be fun. So, wrote a book. My day job is absolutely crazy right now. But all I really have to say, just kind of this being future me, because I'm doing the recording and stuff like that, and making sure I can get this video out to y'all at a reasonable time, which is at 8 o'clock every Monday. Let's go, gotta hit those breakfast style points right there, right? But I do appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in, watching the videos, leaving comments, leaving likes, everything like that. It does mean quite a bit. I wanted to come back and dive back into this because I saw a lot of the love that was going on for some of the past videos, and I wanted to keep the good times rolling. Definitely biting off a little bit more than I can chew with this every Monday while we're getting through the Urban Savannah style pack here, but we're gonna keep it up. We're definitely gonna make sure we get this through, and we're hopefully gonna get done in 10 episodes. Oh yeah, that's gonna be. There's so much farming that has to be done. I haven't even started upgrading buildings yet. I think there's literally just going to be an episode of just me yapping here on the microphone to a whole bunch of building time lapse being updated. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and let this kind of run its course here. Finish up the time lapse. And again, thank you so much. Leave those suggestions for some music for me. And I'm going to throw it back to Past Me to wrap up the episode and tell you a little bit more about what we did here. And we're back. Alright, so cool, awesome. If anyone was paying attention with a very keen eye towards any of those time lapses, there might be something that you may have saw in probably the last two, which is this giant sky bridge that is seemingly here. It has been an absolute, it's been a time. We've done a lot. And unfortunately, with how oh man, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. I'm totally a professional Minecraft player, believe me. Okay, so with how a lot of these things have to be constructed from the infrastructure point of view, I was not really able to capture a good time lapse of this. A lot of wood, a lot of farming went into getting all this wood, I might show it off, but each one of these things are little pieces, and as the next one goes up, it would kind of delete some of the other ones. It wouldn't just stack on top in the way that I was expecting it to. And so I would put this on, they would build it, I'd put the next one on, they would be building this next part right here, and then I'd have to come in and actually manually fix some of these sections so it properly looks and just overall just flows better. But I think it looks pretty good. I like it. It allows us to start getting a little bit more of a vantage point, and it lets me kind of experiment with it. I was looking, I think it's down here. Is it this level? Yeah, so what I want to do at this level is I want to break these right here, and I'll put a little gate in so people have a way of getting in and out right over on this side. It's giving us options, which is the good thing. But anyway, so we can keep on going up. It's nice. It's got some good elevation to it. You can kind of already see we have the guard tower. We have the 2 guard towers that we had built in the previous episode. But as I promised, I doubled all the buildings. So we had 4 before, and now we have an additional 8. And that is 1 more over here. we have that guard tower, which is really, really nice. We got another guard tower. You can kind of see it up over there. Perfect. Love it. And then there's one back over there, and then there's also another one up over there. So we got 4 guard towers, which is fantastic. Now, if people are paying attention to the overall layout as the time lapses and stuff like that were going on, you will know that we have some new buildings back here to talk about. We have the mine, the warehouse, the courier, and back over there, we have the restaurant. So let's go ahead, we're going to jump on down, we're going to start talking about that. And what's really cool, we can see, that's our courier right there. He's been running around and delivering a whole bunch of things and giving us that automation that we're looking for. Now, I do have some terraforming that still needs to get done through here to like really start laying all these things out. Our guards are running all over the place, which is fantastic. We love it. Chomp on some food right there. I cleared all of this out of nasty monsters, and I torched up everything. It's everything has been torchified, and hopefully I can cut back on the torches as we come through and start building in more like the buildings and stuff. But we're gonna start over here with the mine, since we kind of already talked about the forester the other day and just a little bit of that early on. And so like if we go over here to the mine, talk about this, it'll be a good, hey, next step into the thing. And oh look, our builder's still hanging out here. Ooh, there's an enderman. Oh, that's, ooh, well, I think that's also like a thunderstorm, but that's fine. That's fine. There's a thunderstorm. They don't want to stay. They want to go do their own things. That's okay. All right. So the mine is going to work pretty much exactly like a forester's hut is going to do, except the forester runs around, will cut down trees and then replant with like a sapling of whatever type of tree it was that they cut down, which, you know, cool, nice, not bad. The mine, however, what they're going to do is by default, they're just going to dig straight down to Y level -100. And then from there, they're just going to start branching out and all that other kind of fun stuff. So right now, they're currently in the process of digging straight down. They'll fill in holes and all that other kind of stuff and kind of make their way, which is what, you know, accounts for any sort of like water or anything like that. And now that we have a mine, something that we can do with a guard tower is we can take that person who's running up there right now and we can actually set them to guard the mine. And when the miner actually starts building the tunnels, they will go with them and protect them from any kind of monsters and stuff like that, which can be, you know, quite nice. But if we take a look at the mine itself, different types of UI that stand out would be the crafting recipes. We can teach them recipes for anything that might be important for them to be able to do stuff. Nothing too crazy with that particular thing. The pickup priority is going to be important, but we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to the courier's hut. Inventory. We can see right here, like, there's always the help. This is the introduction. Really great way of just kind of like going through everything. Most buildings have this, and you know, it's really good as a way of being like, hey, what can they use? Wood tools, stone tools, all that other kind of fun stuff, right? They will, you know, keep going down, the nodes, all this kind of stuff. A lot of the FAQs come in handy pretty well. We don't have any guards. We can do the fill blocks. We can say how far we want them to go down, if we want them to do shears. This right here, this levels becomes important once they actually start building the tunnels. But until we actually have a miner building some of the tunnels, we'll just kind of skip over that for right now. Required resources is for the expansion. So sometimes they will come back and say like, hey, I'm trying to dig down. I need more, you know, ladders, or I need some cobblestone and stuff like that. That'll pop up here. Minimum stock, crafting recipes and stuff like that. So really nice. This in combination with the forester is what's going to actually allow us to start getting a lot of that, you know, that automation going, right? They can mine all the stuff that they're going to dig up, comes over here and they put it in this inventory, right? So they got some coal ore, they got some diorite for us already from just what they've kind of done. And I have kind of helped them a little bit by getting some of the digging going. But they have all this, and what will end up happening is our courier is going to come pick this up, and he's going to transport that back to our main warehouse. And from there, that's where I can do a bulk majority of like all the crafting for any of the other buildings, so I don't have to run around and gather things, which is really, really nice. So that's the mine. As it levels up, we're going to see more and more with it, and this will probably be one of the buildings that I will be focusing on trying to level up quickly, so that our miner will get access to new tools to be able to speed going further down. As we make our way over here to the warehouse, I want to draw attention to these lava pillar. So I had to kind of enclose this right here, just simply due to the fact that we had, I think it was a guard. Yeah, I think a guard ran through and like caught himself on fire and then died, and then like a whole bunch of other people were like, "Murr, we don't want to come to your place anymore," type thing. And it looks like it's actually like dark. So I'm gonna go run over this way to sleep in a bed, so that we can not have to worry about like all these monsters everywhere. Like we can see our guards they're doing their thing. They're slaying monsters. They're getting XP for it, which is all good. Hopefully they don't die, because if they die, then I gotta go craft more armor for them. It's like a whole thing. Some people like it. I don't know. Work. Alright, let's go over here. I can actually make this jump. Nailed it. Oop. Alright. Let's go. That's not good. No death message though. So we will in fact take that. And they'll deal with that guy eventually. Alright, cool. So next up on our agenda for what we got done over the course of the time lapse is going to be the warehouse. Now the warehouse, I've kind of mentioned it in the past, where like when I was talking about like what we were going to be doing and why we wanted to do it. I was originally going to do the warehouse in the courier's hut last episode, simply because what it'll allow us to do is have a place of, this is just where we're going to go to do all the stuff, right? We're just going to come in here and we'll do all the crafting, we'll deposit everything. It's great. Now, inside of the warehouse, there's going to be tons of storage. There's going to be actually more like, and not just like tons of storage, but it's going to be like a growing thing of storage. This is where the courier will come. But more importantly for us is that we can come up here to the block and we can see who the couriers are, all that kind of fun stuff. That's great. There's the minimum stock, which is cool. There's the setting. This is where we can upgrade the storage. That becomes a little bit more important later on down the line, where we can actually like get more storage once we go like all the way through. I'm looking actually, do I have, no, that's not the one. Is it this one? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So when you're here, this little button, the chest down on the bottom, it'll actually show all the items that we currently have in storage. And say that I was looking for where the ladders are, I can click this button and it'll tell me what shelf has all the ladders. It's pretty nice. This particular layout of the warehouse is a little bit on like the more unique side. Usually what I've noticed in some of the style packs that I've built in before, that the block itself is often like on the first floor, like pretty much like right up front, and you can kind of click on it and be able to easily find what you're looking for. But this one's up here on the second floor. I don't know how I'm feeling about it at the moment, but it's a thing. So that's pretty cool. So the warehouse, as we saw from over at the mine, the warehouse is going to be the destination point for a lot of the just buildings and stuff like that that are either producing, making, or, you know, what have you. The forests are cutting down trees, getting all the leaves, saplings, wood. Anything that exists in that building will end up making its way over here and into our warehouse. The mine, whatever the mine is producing, will make its way from the mine into our warehouse. And more importantly, down the road, once we get like the blacksmith and everything else in here, their goods will either come from the warehouse to supply them, or in the case of the restaurant, which is up over there, and we will get to that. Once we get to the restaurant, like if they need food or coal or anything else, they take that from here and it makes its way up there, which is really, really nice. Also cool, awesome watching our guards beat up an Enderman over there. That's nice to see. And you're probably wondering, why am I not helping my guards out when fighting some enemies? And that's actually a good question. And the reason for that is we haven't had it happen yet, thank goodness. But there's a mechanic in MineColonies called raids with like barbarians and other things and stuff like that, where they will start coming in from a predetermined area and we have to like survive or like take out the leader, or it depends on like whatever type of raid it is. And if you, the player, do a lot of the work, the raids will outscale your guards. And so you got to make sure that your guards do a majority of it, because the game mod like knows the scaling of like how fast things die and all that other kind of fun stuff to be more balanced around what your guards can do, not what you as the player can do. So you gotta kind of keep that in mind. So I don't really let them like, I won't help them with the Enderman or zombies or anything along those lines. I just kind of let them do what they gotta do. All right, the courier hut. This is actually probably going to be one of my favorite buildings for this entire style pack, and let me explain why. So, one, the courier is the integral thing, the integral worker to running things all over our colony. And we'll end up having more couriers in the future, but what's really cool and why I like this particular building probably the most out of all the ones that we built, which unfortunately I did not show you guys like the previews or anything like that, we just kind of went right into the time lapse. But right over here we can kind of already see they have this like this path already laid out. This building, compared to some of the other style packs, this one really heavily like emphasizes using rails, like the subway system and the rail system. And I think that's actually going to be really, really cool for us, simply because we can use that as a means of getting all the way up to like the top of some of these savannas or some of these like peaks and everything like that. I think that's going to be really, really cool. So like when I was messing around, I was like, oh, okay, it's just going to be like a little courier's hut. And I saw it at level 1, or I guess technically level 0, right? And then I looked at it at level 5 and it had the powered rails and everything. And I was like, ooh, actually having a rail system going like that way towards like a dock sort of area, building into the mountain and like doing like a run up over to like these peaks for like farms and everything, I figured is going to be really, really cool. And it'll make our courier's job a little bit easier in how he's going to go about delivering all those goods, because they'll be able to use the rail system, which is going to be, I think, a fun time. So that's the courier's hut. There's really not a lot going on with it. It is mostly a building that you're going to see in combination with the warehouse. You're never not going to have just like the courier's hut on its own. It'll always usually be paired up alongside that. Usually what I've seen happen for people who are new is they'll build the town hall, they'll build the builder's hut, and they'll start like getting things together for like guard towers and everything like that. And at most, because they're looking for more storage, right, they'll build a warehouse, and they themselves are going to be doing a lot of the running around and delivering the items. But once they figure out that the courier hut exists, then they kind of bring that through. One of the things that I want to do with this particular building, as we can see here, I had to hollow a lot out, and I started replacing some of the stone. I'm going to be coming back after the fact, once this hits its max level, and I want to terraform around this to kind of build this, like the mountain is sitting on top of it. It felt very dwarf style pack with like how squat the building was, and just like wanting it to like connect and like feel like it was built like right under this like rock. I think it will look really, really cool. So that's 3 of the 4 buildings. Let's go ahead and talk about the last and final building, which is the restaurant. Now, originally, I don't think I was going to build the restaurant. I think I was going to let this one kind of lie for a moment. I was going to come back to it in the future, but several of the guards were complaining about being hungry, which is crazy, I know, and needing some sort of food. And so I was like, yeah, well, I guess I got to build it sooner rather than later. And my thought with it is, one,
what is it?
Let's not like look under this platform, because it is just kind of like an ugly platform. I do plan on coming back in here and like terraforming this in to kind of make it look like it's a ledge as opposed to just a sheer drop. But, you know, I'm not ashamed. I'll show off the ugliness of what we got going on over here. I'll show it off. I have plans. It'll come to fruition. But when this levels up all the way, it'll look really nice. It has like a whole bunch of windows that I figured would be overlooking this like bay area over here, which I was like, yeah, you know, honestly, I think this fits. I think this is a good spot for it. So went with the restaurant for the food. I put it here for the location. I figured it's gonna look good just overviewing this, and this is gonna like make things a bit easier for us as we go forward, so we don't have to worry about running around and like giving our colonists the bread and everything like that. Mr. Andrew Z. Ito will be the one in charge of making sure they eat all the food, which will be really cool. Now, I have put several new guard posts in, as y'all can see. I think we did 4 this time, and that's greatly expanded our boundaries, which is what we're looking for. My goals in the next few episodes is going to be getting a few more guard towers. I think it's going to be, let's see, because I did 8 buildings this time, which means next time I'd have to do somewhere in the ballpark of like 16. I'm going to be real. I don't know if we're doing 16 buildings, just straight up. I don't know if that's going to be a thing. I don't know if I'll have enough time in the week, but I will certainly try, right? But there will be a good smattering of guard towers coming in, because let me keep climbing up over this way, and I want to show you guys what the vision is, right? And hopefully not fall off, because I've fallen off a couple times, and that was not good. So, one, we have a pretty big expanse so far of what our colony is. If I hit M, we can kind of see more. So like right now, we're kind of only encroaching this particular area. I want to get all the way out to probably this island. I don't know if I want to go that far, but like definitely want to go out a couple more chunks. So then this central island is where we're going to be at. And from there, right, we'll probably get like a guard tower, maybe like down over there or something like that, or maybe up on that hill. Want to get a couple of guard towers in so we can keep expanding that way, along with that way. I want to get, I don't know what I'm putting over here yet. I had it written down, but I don't think it was a guard tower. But we're going to be looking at doing some farming. And we're going to be looking at, let's hit this. We'll do this. It'll make things easier, right? So because we have the restaurant, and we have the mine, and we have our forester, we have to start asking ourselves as we're building out the colony, what is the next pain point for automation, right? Like what can we have built so that the colony can kind of be a little bit more self-sustaining? And so with the restaurant needing food coming in so that they can feed people, a farm is going to be one of those things. So we're going to take a look at agriculture. There are several things that we have going on here. There's also something to be said that some of these will not be able to be built because we don't have the required knowledge base yet. And in order to do that, we have to build the, where are we at? Education. We will have to build the university. And that's going to be a whole thing. But I believe the basic farm, where are you at? Horticulture. Yeah, this farm, this one, we should be able to just kind of plop down and start getting, you know, the wheat and potatoes and carrots and stuff like that. Like we should be able to at least start doing that. And it might not be great food, but our colonists will be happy. So at a bare minimum, we're definitely going to be seeing the farm. That'll be cool. I don't know where that's going to go yet. Part of me, and maybe you guys can actually help me, would be, do I put the farms up top? Is this where like the farms are going to go? Or is this where I put all the residents for where people live? Because what I'm looking at, right, like obviously we're going to be doing the farm. But we need to start making some residences, because in order to get more people in here that aren't guards and that are actually like members of the colony who are going to be doing a job, we need to have places for them to live. And so that's going to be the residences. And I'm kind of stuck at a crossroads of, do I put them up here? Do I just kind of like mix and match the residences and the farms? Do I just kind of like level out the districts, all that kind of stuff. Because as I did with that bridge up over there, I plan on doing something similar here to start connecting this and actually hooking this particular, like, it's not exactly floating because it is connected over there, but like making access points from different vantages to get up and actually have access to this particular island up here. And so I'm stuck between, do I want to do a farms up on this, or do I want to just do residences, or do I want to do like residences over here, farms up there, or I'm not too sure. So at least one farm. There will be several residences I think are going to be made. I'm thinking somewhere in the ballpark of 4. And in future me, I am so sorry for the materials that you're going to have to gather for that. Outside of those, at this point, we've kind of built all of these, except the residence and the hospital. I have, unfortunately, for the first time in this playthrough, have encountered one of my guards having the flu, so a hospital is going to be something that comes up sooner rather than later, but I don't know if I can actually build that yet. I think the university has to come first and we have to research it. I have to look into that particular one. But that is a good next step because we do need a university. The university has to happen. The sooner we can get one of those in, the better for us, because research takes time. And there's only so much AFKing one can do, but we still need to get it down. And I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't know where that's going to go yet. Like, ooh, I just don't know. I think a lot of it's going to come down to like its overall look and how I'm going to slot that in. Maybe I can put it into like the mountain or something like that if it looks good. So that could be pretty good. We're not going to dive into any of the craftsmanship stuff yet. And if we did, it would be along the lines of, is it masonry? No. Metallurgy? It would probably be along the lines of the blacksmith hut, but I believe, again, this has to be done through the university to get access to that. Let's see. Do I have anything with the mystics? If I can do the graveyard, I would want to do the graveyard pretty quickly, if I'm honest with you guys. I've had a couple deaths, and an undertaker would go really hard. Walls, I don't think we're gonna need walls on this particular thing. I'm gonna keep it in mind, but I don't think we're actually gonna do anything with the walls. And military wise, as it stands right now, the guard towers I think are perfectly fine. We don't have to do anything too crazy. And the barracks, the combat academy, and the archery, I don't know if we're actually gonna lean into those. If we have room, we'll definitely do that, but those definitely take research. So for next episode, we are definitely going to be looking at doing some residences. We're going to be looking at doing some farming, getting that going, so I don't actually have to go and do all the farming. That would be great for me. Would love that. And I'm always looking out for future me. So we got a couple of those. We're going to get some more guard towers, and I think that combined, so like I said, we do 4 of that, four residences, 4 or 5 residences, and then a couple farms, and then some more guard towers. Like, that's definitely going to put us into the double digits. The guard towers are going to be for sure like needed so I can expand everything. Then getting the residences up over there. We got a lot going on, but we did a lot today as well. And I have to, say thank you guys so much for like hanging out, listening to me yip yap, and being along for the ride. Like, it's been a blast. I'm looking forward to seeing how we can grow this. Like, again, when I first found this particular place, like, it's just, I don't know, the verticality of it all, and like the challenge of like utilizing the cliff climbs and all of that seems like a lot of fun. And so far it has proven to be a fun challenge. So I'm really excited to see how much further we can take it. I'm also looking out for some fun designs to do with like the lava flows and everything that are happening. Like, there's a whole bunch of them. We have like some waterfalls in a couple other areas too that I really want to explore, some like potential like piping or something like that. Maybe I dig down even further and we go a little bit down in, and we have like possibly like a subterranean kind of crafting metallurgy area. I don't know. I have to look. heavily considering splashing into some other style packs though, and I think that could be a way to do it. But that is going to be all for me today. Happy Monday, everybody, or whenever it is that you are checking out this video. Hope you guys have had a lovely day, and if not, I hope you have a lovely week. Thank you so much for tuning in. All the fun YouTuber stuff of the like, comment, subscribe, all that, please do. But more importantly, as I said in the time lapse, if you guys have any fun music suggestions, please drop them my way. Those mean a lot to me because it influences my fitness algorithm for whenever I'm going and working out. It's always a fun time. So until next time, everybody, I hope you keep on keeping on, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have like an outro. I just kind of like say we and bye. So like I gotta kind of figure that one out. But until next time, guys, bye.